Welcome to the Hourly Podcast. In today's episode, Brandi Adams, Senior Manager of Field Recruiting at Potbelly Sandwich Shop, discusses the company's mission to be the most loved sandwich brand and emphasizes the importance of people in achieving business success. She shares insights on creating a positive work environment, the significance of leadership engagement, and strategies for hiring individuals with the right personality to foster a culture of good vibes. Brandi also reflects on her career journey and the value of employee recognition. Enjoy.
This episode is brought to you by JoJo, an AI virtual recruiter powered by Sprockets. Designed for the hourly workforce, JoJo works 24/7 to source, screen, and schedule interviews with the best applicants for your business. JoJo helps reduce employee turnover and time spent hiring so you and your team can focus on other important tasks. To learn more, head to sprockets.ai/JoJo.
Well, Brandi, thanks so much for being on the podcast.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so for those in our audience that don't know who you are, or the company, tell us a little bit about you and the company you represent.
Yeah, so I'm Brandi. The company. We'll start with the company because
Okay.
I really think that's what really drives me and who I am and who I've grown to be. Potbelly is the brand that I work for. We're a fast casual concept, and our success at Potbelly is really defined on our people. Our people is our success, and our vision is to be the most loved sandwich brand in every neighborhood. We're here to delight our customers, but ultimately, we're serving great food, and we have good vibes with our team. So my role at Potbelly is I'm the field recruiting manager, the senior manager of the field recruiting team. So helping, assisting, and in the hourly folks, which is well underrepresented that we have in our field today.
Love it. And how many locations do you guys have?
So we're focused on franchise growth right now. So we have about 350 corporate locations, and we're going to be growing that in the coming years. And we have multiple franchise locations and developments for 2025 as well.
Yeah, it's incredible. And you said a few things kind of in that intro that really stuck out to me, like the most loved sandwich shop in every single neighborhood. I love that because I know through experience that doesn't just mean the best quality sandwich. It's the location, it's the service, all those different things. And I love your phrasing, our people are our success, right? So
Yeah.
from your perspective, like why is there such an emphasis on people? Because although that might come intuitively maybe to me and to you, maybe sandwich quality is more important at other brands or quick lines at others. Why people matter so much?
Yeah, so people matter because we can't do all those other things that you said without those people. We can't make sandwiches. We can't grow sales. We can't market our brand without the people behind the scenes. It starts with them. It starts with us. And that's where our success is defined in our people. We'll grow our people, we'll develop our people, and invest in our people to grow our business.
Yeah, then talk to me a little bit if you're willing to share about some of those things that make your people practices great. Is it particular perks? Is it policies? How do you kind of define that?
Yeah, so I believe, prior to my role as the senior manager, I was a general manager for the company. So I was in the shops, living the vibe every day. So it's the good vibes that you bring. People wanna work for leaders who bring good vibes. They believe in the passions and want to grow and develop them. So I think it's the development paths that we have for our teams. I also believe it's the good vibes that we have as well. We do have incentive, we do have benefits packages as well that are very attractive. We pay competitive for the markets as well, which can attract that top talent as well. But by being, that most loved sandwich brand, it's by developing great people to be a part of that growth journey.
Yeah, and you keep saying good vibes, which I love, right? And how do you scale that? as you guys have gotten to 350, right? So like you coming from the general manager and just knowing you know, probably good vibes comes naturally, right? And knowing that that's a primary driver of retention success from the people side of things. Like, are you giving coaching to general managers? Is there things written on the wall of like how to establish good vibes? You just
Yeah.
hire these good people? Like, talk me through that. Like, how do you instill that at the location level?
Yeah, no, I do. That's a great question. So previous brands I've been at, there was their values, and they talked about it maybe day one, and you never talked about it again. At Potbelly, we utilize our values and our verbiage every day, and what we're talking about. We have recognition programs like in our restaurants, so having employees of the month. We've even extended that further into the corporation, or I'm sorry, into like the support center roles and things like that. But the good vibes, again, it starts from that leadership piece. When I was in the shops, the CEO of the company, Bob Wright, could come in, and I felt like he knew who I was, and said who came up to me, thanked me by name, shook my hand, and that was huge. That was important, that we weren't just it's not just a number. You're not a number in the field. So the good vibes really start from that leadership and identifying the right people for our organization.
Yeah, I love that. And having recognition from the top down really important, right? And we actually have been talking about this more and more with corporate leaderships and with franchisors. Spending face time with leaders really matters, right? And granted that gets more difficult with scale. So it's easy to do that if you have 10 locations, really hard if you have 10,000. But it seems like you have pretty active leadership across the board. Would you define that?
Yeah, no, I definitely would say that as well. I knew who my CEO was. I know who my chief operating officer was, and that was at a general manager level. I don't think at all levels in an organization, you know who those people are, can recognize them by face, and feel comfortable to go up and have genuine conversations.
Yeah, I love that. And I is there any other kind of things that stick out to you about Potbelly from a perks perspective, about a good vibes perspective that you'd be willing to share, just in case somebody is thinking about their location or their business, about how to increase retention and to get everybody feeling good?
Yeah, no, I think I was kind of saying that earlier, is just to be the leader and hire people.
Mm,
It's not always looking back and hiring for looking at it's great to know how to make a sandwich and hire people who know how to make sandwiches, but it's those aren't always the people that we're looking for. Hire for people, hire for
mm.
personality. And that's how you'll be able to create those good vibes and keep them in your shops.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. And the last question I have for you, just because you just brought it up, hiring for personality, right? Easy said, I think hard to do. Particularly in the interview process that's so fast and kind of in the age of like, if you apply, you have to get to somebody right away. And then like getting them to show up for an in-person interview sometimes challenging. Are you gauging that throughout? Is it, you're training GMs of what to look for in the interview process? Like, how do you do that today?
Yeah. So yeah, we definitely train our general managers and our shift leaders as well, just to understand what a good interview looks like, and we set tools in place for that. So interview guides that help ask great questions, and
Mm,
identify their opportunities. And see if we can coach those opportunities and bring and develop that person within our organization. Just because at Potbelly we believe if someone has an opportunity doesn't mean that we can't coach that, we can't develop that. And again, asking those great questions and putting those tools in front of our hiring managers.
yeah, I love that. So, if you've watched the podcast, you know what question's going to come next. It's the very last question, and it's the same for every single audience member or every guest. What was your first hourly job, and were you fired from that job, or did you leave gracefully?
Yeah, so my first hourly job was Pizza Hut. I started as a server, and I actually worked my way up through the ranks there into an hourly manager. Pizza Hut was not doing well at the time, and they had multiple closures. So I was unfortunately laid off at that time, and took, I'll give you a step further, when another step into another hourly role as a server at Olive Garden with Darden Restaurants. And then
Love it.
through the ranks there. So
Love it. Love it. That's incredible. So if somebody wants to learn more about you or the company, what's the best way to do that?
yeah, so you can reach me on LinkedIn. So I do have a profile on LinkedIn. And if you're ever looking for your next opportunity to grow with us, we do have positions available on our potbelly.com website.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much for being on the podcast.
Awesome. Thank you.